Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm gonna do the other part of my TBR. I already did my Victober TBR, so I will have that in the description box below. I'm really excited for that, but I know that I can't just read Victorian literature all month long. I have tried to do that in the past, and it never works out when I read only one type of book. So, because of my mood reading, I have so many books I want to get to, but I'm only gonna put two for sure that I know I'm going to read, and then I'm going to pick a third because I am going to do Becca and the books, her Spookoplathon. I did this last year, which was really fun, and it kind of helped between my Victober reads. I would read something, you know, like if I had an audiobook that was a Victorian read, then I would read physically, I would read, you know, something modern. And so hopefully I'll get some spooky books in here. I do have a couple books I'll just show you that are options, and then we will do a Spookopoly roll. I'm just going to go a roll as you go. So I'm not going to do 5, and at least I don't think so. We'll see what the first one is. The first one is like, I don't know. We'll see how I feel. Anyway, okay. So there's only, as I said, there's 2 books that I want to get to this month for sure, barring anything else, versus my one buddy read, which is For Wild About You by Carolyn Sparks. This is book 13 of the Love at Stake series, and I'm reading these with Berna. Berna's Book is Adventures, and we've been reading the whole series. So we're getting closer and closer to the end. This one's following Howard, which I'm so excited for. And I don't know, yeah, I don't know if I don't think we've met the woman before, but things that happened in the end of the last book really, we want to know more about Howard. So I'm really excited for the next of these, the paranormal romance series. We've had a lot of fun with most of these books. So we'll be reading this in the first week of October. I'm really excited for it. So we will be reading that. And then I am going to continue the Last King of Austenard series. I hope to read Into the Narrow Dark by Tad Williams, probably about mid-month. This will be my physical reading. I always read these books physically first, and then on my rereads, I do them audio, and I've caught up now with everything I read before. This is book 3. So, and book 4, The Navigator's Children, comes out in November. So I want to make sure I'm finally caught up on this series. I kind of waited on this book because I was waiting for the last book to actually get published. So, Last King of Austenard is a series that follows Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. I always say start with the Dragonbone Chair. This world is very classic fantasy, but this is my favorite epic fantasy series. I find it very comforting, and I just adore these characters. The Last King of Austenard is a 4-book series. There's a couple of novellas as well, but is following the characters from Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn about 30 plus years after those events. So don't read The Last King of Austenard first. It wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't hit you so much when things happen. And of course, Tad Williams has epic cliffhangers at the end of the book, which is probably why I did put this one off, because I knew the last book when it comes out, I'd want to reread these anyway. So I held off, but I shouldn't have. I should have read this a couple of years ago when it came out, but I did not. So we are going to read this, and those are the only 2 books that I have to read. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to change the screen, and we're going to do our one roll for Bookopoly and see how it goes. And then I will just show some options after we pick that book of things I might pick up during the month, because they're calling to me. They're kind of spooky reads and stuff. I have so many others that I could pick, so mood wise I might do something else. So anyway, let me change over. Okay, here, sorry about the light there. That's not much I can do about that. So here is Becca's Spookoplathon board for this year. I will have her channel linked down below, of course. So anyway, here we go. So that's the board. And then we'll go over here, and we're gonna roll 2 dice. 8. Okay, let's go back. Sorry, not very coordinated. Anyway, so I got this little block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, present, which means a book that I want to read like right now. I believe that is. So some people consider it a mood read, I think is the other way to say that, but I can read something that I want to read right now. So that's good. What's my first book that I want to read in October? Well, we'll see. Okay, so my first prompt is present, which means to read something I want to read right now. So what I'm going to put is the book that is calling to me, because I want to know if I want to buy the second book, and it's coming out later in October. So I'm going to read Grimstone by Sophie Lark. I have not read anything by her. I did like test Brutal Prince when I had Kindle Unlimited earlier this year, but I didn't finish that book. So I want to see how this goes. This one is Remy, who is, I think she inherits her uncle's mansion, and he was, I don't know if he was just kind of weird, I guess, and it's Grimstone, and she and her brother go to renovate it, and she has a lot of other, like, some past stuff that just happened kind of bad, and then things kind of happen here. So and her next door neighbor might have murdered his wife. So, you know, so I think there might be something going on with them, or, you know, finding out what happened. But I think it's kind of spooky. It looks kind of cool. So this is going to be the first physical book probably I read in October, because I want to read this really soon. So that's really all for the other part of my TBR that I have to read. But I just want to show a few books that I'd like to get to. I would like to read the nonfiction or about writing, Storyworthy, Engage, Teach, Persuade, and Change Your Life Through the Power of Storytelling by Matthew Dix. So I think I bought this last year hearing from somebody about writing and stuff. And even though I'm not sure how I want to deal with the whole NaNoWriMo thing with the blowout that happened last month, I might still want to focus on my writing, even if I don't do that anymore, even though I'm kind of sad about all that. But I think I want to read a writing book to get me in the mood to, as I said, I want to start writing more consistently, and I have not been writing consistently this year at all in the last couple of years. So that was to kind of help with that. And then I have just some random books here. Small Town Big Magic by Hazel Beck. This is one of my 24 in 2024 that I'd like to read. That's a witchy one. I think this has to do with the main character doesn't remember that something happened and she lost her memories on why she used to be a witch of some sort in this town. And I think she's the Chamber of Commerce or something. And then something happens that she remembers or starts to remember. I'm not sure, but it's small town magic. I think I want to do that. I would like to maybe get to the Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. I did read Masters of Death this year, so I did enjoy that. And everybody's always talked about the Atlas 6, and I just haven't got to it. I figured this is the season for it. We'll see about that. I have a couple of Darcy Coates I might get to. The Haunting of Ashburn House is one of her haunted house ones, one of her more popular ones. I haven't read this one. This is one I got from the library once when I had like I had read a couple in a row and I never got to this one. And so I finally bought a used copy. And so I do want to read that. And I also have The Haunting of Lee Harker. So I've also heard recently about this one. I think someone mentioned it in my comments. So I'm not sure what this one's about, but it's another Darcy Coates. I'd like to read a couple of hers. I would also like to continue reading Rachel Harrison. I've collected a couple of books and I haven't read any more beyond Cackle. So this year I'd like to read The Return, which was, I think, her debut. And this is about a friend or somebody, the main character's friend goes missing and then comes back and she's not exactly how she was. That's about all I know about that. I also thought maybe The Cloisters by Katie Hayes, which again is another more dark academia one. I think she she goes to New York expecting to work in some museum for the summer, and then she is sent to this other section and something to do with tarot cards, I think. I'm not sure, but it's one I've been wanting to get to since I got it, and I just haven't made time for it. So this one might pop up at some point. And then maybe for something a little lighter at some point, Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen, which is, I think, about a family and something about a tree. I don't know. I don't remember. I hear it's more, cozy fantasy or magical realism or, something like that. And I've always wanted to read her one of her books. So I thought I would try that. So those ones I'd all like. Those are all options for the next Spookopoly roll that I have. But right now, these are physically the only ones that the non-Victober options that I definitely will read this month. Into the Narrow Dark, because I want to continue the series. Grimstone, because that was my first roll to read present, something I really want to read right now. And then my buddy read, Wild About You with Berna at Burnished Books Adventures. I'm really excited for these and what October will be like. I know I'm really ambitious with all the stuff I want to get to. I always am every month, and this month is probably a little higher than most. But we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to vlog some of it. I haven't decided if I want to do weekly vlogs or a couple, or mix up some vlogs. I feel like I'm ready to do some vlogging again. So we will see what happens. I'm not sure yet because I have a couple days of September yet to get through. So we will see how that goes. So anyway, what are you reading for October? Are you doing Spookoplathon? I know there are dozens of really cool readathons happening, and I just chose Victober's one I always do, and then Spookopoly Spookoplathon is easy to kind of intermix with what I'm already doing, because I just roll as I go, so it's not hard to add extra books in that aren't my Victober reads. And again, maybe one of those will come up and it will be my Victober read that I put in for the option, but I'm hoping to use Spookopoly to more be the other books that I want to read during the month, because I just can't read the same thing, the same kind of thing all month. So if I kind of mix it up, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, let me know what you're reading or what readathons you are taking part in. As I said, there were so many I would love to have joined, but these are the two I chose, and I'm just gonna have fun with what I can do. So anyway, Cooper and I will see you later. Bye.